order. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the Frankfort Township Board of Education has caused advance notice of this meeting and general agenda to be posted to the official notices page on the district website. There's the district website. District broadcasts and district social media, as well as district and municipal offices on May 13th, 2026. This meeting may be recorded for subsequent public broadcast. Please rise for the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll have a quick roll call tonight. Charlene. Here. Brienne.
Here.
Chris.
Here.
Jesse.
Here.
Mandy. The rest are absent. Okay, so we had some students of the marking period for the fourth marking period. Kindergarten, we had Sorella. She's a very prominent figure, isn't she? Like a little mayor.
Yes.
She's so cute. First grade, Harley Babcock. Second grade, Fred Cavett. Third grade, Torin Peterson. Fourth grade, Eiley Wagner. Fifth grade, Otto Schnabel. Sixth grade, Avery Gelds. Seventh grade, Cassidy Kilpatrick. Oh, eighth grade, Lexi Barbagallo. Very cool. Hey, John. John's here too.
Welcome.
Staff member of the month was nominated by Angela Schnabel, and it is Sarah Bachman. She's not able to attend, but we will give her the recognition and the gift card. Superintendent and principal section.
All right, so I just wanted to touch on a few highlights. There's many highlights, but just touch on a few since our last meeting in early May. We had a great community day. I feel like all the feedback was very positive. Those that attended, hopefully you thoroughly enjoyed yourself. It was nice to see everything come to fruition and come together with all that hard work, and planning. Thank you to everybody in the community, of course our PTA, that helped out in a variety of different ways. So thank you to our community for making it such a special day. We've had some great, concerts, middle school concerts. We had a great kindergarten picnic recently. We had our ADVEX presentation. We also had our Distinguished Scholars Program showcase recently. Of course, our middle school and elementary field days, as always, were a huge success. Again, thank you to all the parents, volunteers, PTA, for everything that they continue to do for our great school and giving all of our kids such a great experience. We also wanted to discuss briefly the athletics and uniforms and funding. It was brought to our attention that recently the track and fields uniforms are not in the best shape possible. I know a while ago we kind of discussed basketball uniforms, so maybe just like a board discussion. It kind of goes, with that, and also our, sponsorship, policy. We're looking to improve upon our, uniforms, for our student athletes. Also, kind of wanted to mention our, you'll see on the agenda, the school discipline, code of conduct. I'll let Mr. Sylvester kind of discuss that a little further.
So, we have been updating our handbook with a number of certain things, just kind of making sure that what we are practicing, we're preaching, and that our families are aware of what is our handbook and our code of conduct. And that has been updated, and probably the biggest update was the addition of a progressive discipline plan. And this is a plan that was sent out, and it really just gives everybody a roadmap to any potential issues that may arise. There's categories like unexcused absences and tardies, dress code violations, cell phone violations, cheating and plagiarism, uncooperative, non-compliant, disorderly or disruptive behavior, aggressive or injurious behaviors, use of possession, intoxicants and paraphernalia, seriously dangerous or violent behaviors, theft, and destruction of property. And each category has a level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. So that way we can kind of chart and go off of something a little bit more concrete. So when students have any type of, disciplinary problems, we are following some sort of a structure, and it doesn't seem like it's just kind of shooting off the hip and us kind of making a decision out of thin air. You'll see things like, let me pull one up for you. So, just for example, right, like a level 1, you might have a minor disruption or a refusal in class. The response should be a misdirection. The consequence is a warning. Level 2 is a repeated disruption, parent notification, lunch and/or recess detention. Level 3, ongoing disorderly behavior, administrator referral, after-school detention. Level 4, pattern of non-compliance, a behavior plan is implemented with the potential for multiple after-school detentions or an in-school suspension. Level 5, persistent refusal, administrative action, in-school or out-of-school suspension. And then it also has underneath that some notes. It includes inappropriate or disrespectful language and gestures. Restorative conversations may be used at any level. Staff will use consistent expectations and redirections. Loss of privileges may accompany consequences. And then there's special education protections apply when applicable. And then there's always a caveat of documentation is required for levels 2 to 5. So we're always ensuring we're communicating with families once it gets to a certain level. Like I said, and then all disciplinary actions are subject to administrative discretion. There's obviously going to be certain instances that, we have to look at the entirety of the context of the event. So it gives us some leeway, but also a clear path of like, okay, this happened, going to here, going across to here. This was the action, this was the consequence, and this is the plan that we need to follow, so that way we're, trying to be as fair and as equitable as possible.
Thank you. Motion to open, motion to open public comment, second. Who wants the second?
Yeah, this is my first time. Thank you. I'm official now.
Mrs. Becker, do you have anything to say?
Sure, I do.
Oh,
Couple of things. You want a quick reading, Beth? It's quick, I just really would like to thank Dave Sylvester for his leadership with Community Day. It was awesome. He spent a lot of time organizing, doing everything, and I really, thought he led it well. It was so well received in the community, older people that have been here for years and people that graduated 30, 40 years ago came back and they really enjoyed it. So thank you, Dave, for all your work with that. It wasn't easy, it was a lot of
team
work.
effort.
Okay, but,
You
yeah,
did a lot, I agree.
Just take the credit.
You did a
Take the
lot.
win. Take the win.
yeah. No, it was a team effort, but you were the leader there, so we appreciate it. I'd also like to thank the custodial staff and Dave on this as well too, for getting the pickleball courts. They were able to line the blacktop out back by the old tennis court. And so we can at least have our pickleball tournament this year in 5th grade. Not the same as a tennis tournament, and I don't have any pickleball rackets to give them as winning. So they might still get a tennis racket since we have about 500 of them in the class to give out. So, but I do thank them for lining them, that's definitely a help. And I'd also like to thank the PTA and all the parents that volunteered for field day, it was great. The PTA they're incredible. They come through with the food, they did themselves with the oranges and the watermelon, and the kids have a great day. And thanks to all the parents, because without them, we couldn't do it. And thank you for all that you volunteered for.
Me?
Yeah, you volunteered.
Yeah,
You were doing
both
part of it.
days.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, man.
It's good. So
And thank you, Mrs. Eckert, for the fun 5th grade camping trip.
Oh.
You did a very good job with that. My son loved it.
Good, yeah, it was a great, this group was awesome, they did an awesome job and it was great. I'm hoping we still get back to 2 nights, but I won't say anything about that. That's probably coming like with graduation here at the school, that'll
I
come
know.
in years from now.
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment? Good? Motion to close?
Motion?
Second? Jesse, Chris. Okay, and we have Kelly Mitchell here from NJSBA to review our self-evaluation.
Yes, hi everybody, thanks for having me in. Thanks for your hard work. I know that the board self-evaluation is not the most fun thing to do, but because we do it, we were able to derive our board goals from it. So we're just gonna go over it briefly and just have a discussion on some of the areas of growth that you indicated, because that'll help decide what your board goals will be for this year. So you can see here that you have a colored chart, and that kind of spells out exactly your thought process. So anything in yellow is that area of growth. So you see there in the category of vision, mission, and goals, there was 29% of you felt that that was an area of growth. So we'll just chat about that real quickly. And one of the items you had said, which scored a 2.8, so we say anything below a 3 that we need to possibly work on. One of them was revisit, reaffirm, and revise our vision, mission, and goals regularly to ensure consistent purpose. So anybody can speak on that, but there were some comments about reconnecting with your vision and mission.
I don't know that we have.
You don't have a
I don't think
vision
we
and
made
mission
like a formal statement, right? Like we did one year, but we didn't, I don't think we did this year. Make like a formal
statement? Yeah.
mission
This would be a good
statement.
thing to do.
It's on our webpage, right?
Yeah, so that could actually be a board goal that you can do a workshop. And some of my boards do it very differently, so sometimes if they want a community engagement piece, they invite the community to come in. And I do a presentation on mission and vision. And we do breakout groups, and the community weighs in on what they think the mission and vision of the district looks like. Once we take all that data, I give a report to you, and then you come up with a wordsmithing of the mission and vision statement. That's a way to do it. Or the board can just collectively do a workshop. I can facilitate that for you if you'd like, and we can come up with a mission and vision.
Is it typical to have like a separate board mission that's kind of separate from the district? I mean, not different necessarily, but just.
No, it's
own-
usually reflective of the,
Oh,
yeah,
then we
it's-
do
it's-
have
yeah.
one.
We have
Yeah.
a district.
Oh,
We
okay.
do have one.
Okay, you do.
We just didn't make it. I don't know if we made it up.
So do you
I don't know.
reflect on it often as a district? No.
Yes.
As a district, yes. As
A
me,
board?
no. I don't know what to say.
Okay.
I don't think we ever read it as a board and like dove into it. So I do agree with the 2.8 here and needs
Yeah.
a yellow.
So it might be just something that you want to refresh. I don't know when
Yes.
the last time you did that, but that is something. And then there was a lot of discussion in this category that you really wanted to make sure that you had distinct board goals versus district goals. Because I saw in your in the back sheet of this overview is your board goals that you put down. But they're really, it seems more like district goals. If you see on the overview sheet, it
What is
says.
an example of a board goal, Kelly?
Yeah, so a board goal is based on like governance, like things that you wanna do. Let's say you wanna become a certified board, that would be a board goal. Let's say you want to, advance student achievement through some type of training, that areas that you were looking to do to just so that the board can educate themselves collectively together, that would be a board goal. Those type of things, board retreat every year, something like that. So anything to do with the board governance is a board goal. Then district goals are different. District goals, you come together as a board with the administration and collectively talk about the direction of the district, and those would be district goals. So when it was put down here as board goals, strengthen the integration of
Yeah.
at-risk students, I mean, the board wouldn't have any ability to
Right,
do
because we're just here to make sure the school runs well,
Right,
not to run the school.
Right, so this would be that you were very involved in the day-to-day, which we know as board members we can't be. So that goal really is a district goal, not a board goal. So I think that understanding what that looks like, the differentiation
That's a
between
board
the two.
goal, is differentiating between those.
Right, that might be one
That's
of your
step
goals.
one.
So that's what we're here today to talk about, because in your board self-evaluation, you speak very specifically about not understanding if you have goals for yourselves as a board, as a team,
That could have been my comment.
you know? So that would be something, if you wanted to refresh the mission and vision and make sure that the board is mindful of that as they work along the year, the school year, that might be something that you wanna do as a board goal. Sometimes it's a community event where you refresh it with community engagement. But those were some of the comments throughout the mission and vision and goals section. To make sure that you're making decisions and elevate policy that's reflective of the community too. That was something that there was a comment on that. And then we move on to policy. Policy you did quite well with. Some of the comments for areas of growth with policy was that how do you get community engagement on that piece? Like, how do you understand what the aspirations are of all stakeholders when you're approving and updating policies? So that was something that we collectively spoke about, something that we wanted to understand that mechanism. And then accountability for student achievement, again, you did quite well with that. There was really no distinct areas of growth indicators on that one. You seem to be working very, very hard, and you credit the superintendent for working very, very hard on student achievement. So that's always top of mind. Governance, team relations, and accountability. Some of those scores were a little bit low. Participates in board training and retreats to build relationships and learning together. That was a 2.7, so that might be a board
Because we
goal.
don't do that.
Yeah.
That should be a 0.0.
Well, you gave yourself some credit. 3 people put exemplary, so like 3 people feel that you do that.
Love those people.
Those people are very, positive. So that might
Governance,
be.
the bottom of this page.
And then another area of growth that's rated a 3 would be adopt explicit goals for the board itself, distinct from the district goals, to be accountable on your accomplishments as a board. So that was the comments there. The other there was a comment about becoming a certified board. That might be something you're up to 6 credits, so that might be something that you feel like doing. Some of you might not, but it does have to be collective as a team. And then there was a couple of comments just about constantly about trainings and new board orientation, that there really isn't any new board member orientation.
It's from the NJSBC, but I feel like there could be a
There is not new board orientation ever since
Yeah.
I've been on the board. It was
Yeah, so
never.
that could be a board goal where you say, you know what, we're gonna do a new board member handbook. I can give you examples of that. And I don't know what committees or what, but somebody that, like, if you have a governance committee could work on that. You can have an ad hoc committee work on new board member orientation, because you're always gonna have new board members come on. So a handbook would be really helpful. Some boards also do board norms, a board norms document that just talks about, what the expectation of a board member is here in Franklin.
please, sorry.
So that,
What was that called?
it's called a board norms document. And it's something that we do a workshop, I facilitate a workshop, it could be right at a board meeting, and we talk about that. That also helps the new board members when they're coming on, because they're given that document and they understand the expectation board members on this board.
I guess at our first board meeting, you always come and do our ethics training. So that's like a introduction into
Yeah,
new board member orientation.
How long is the board norms part? Could we do like both of those things? Or is it?
in the same day?
Yeah, is it too
Yeah.
much?
No, it's not too much, you know.
It may be too much for me.
I mean,
You
it
lose,
depends.
like I'm in anything, even at work, a half an hour, I'm done. Like
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I can't like focus on it, so
Like
like,
new
Okay,
information.
so if
I would
the
never have
attention
an
span
hour.
is only gonna be a half an hour, you might wanna do it in two sessions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then it counts for two.
That's fine. Yes. Well, it wouldn't. Wait, would we not get extra points if
You would, if you do two subject matters in one, you get two.
still get a 2-year one?
We would still give you the points. So, so there's a couple of goals in there that you can, make for yourself. The
Yeah.
board norms document, the new board orientation, becoming a certified board. There's a bunch of there, but those are board goals, not district goals.
Right.
And then the next was the community leadership. It sounds like you had a great community day. That was wonderful. So that's helpful. And that you're really saying that there's a lot that's going on with the communications committee. They're doing an excellent job. So that's great that you have a committee for that, because you can just hand them over that type of work. So that you're just saying that you basically want to continue that work with the communications committee, so.
I think that's one of our goals, is to get more information out to the community. We do have a Board of Ed section in our weekly newsletter that goes out to the community. I read it every week. I don't think people read it every week, and when they do read it, they maybe just be scanning for pictures of their kids or like a highlight of their kids. The Board of Ed
That's
section isn't
something.
exactly like super fun to read most of the time. And then I know that our communications committee went to a workshop where they were talking about being able to post on social media on some kind of platform, more board information, but then it was also kind of wishy-washy on like how appropriate that is.
You know how I feel about that.
Right.
So I just, anything to do with board members going on social media as a board member, I really, it can be.
The group,
Yeah.
like having.
I know, it really can be some type of ethical issue. Like, and it could be very, very innocent, but, if there was a back and forth and then it was perceived that somebody was speaking for the full board that didn't have authority to do that. It's just,
Yeah.
it's a little problematic with social media.
How do other boards like get their information out?
Yeah, so a newsletter is very popular, so you're doing that, but we have to be mindful too that, it's, all the stakeholders, they might not have somebody in the school district. And, so we wanna reach all the taxpayers and stakeholders in the
So you
community.
do mailers.
Yeah, so you might wanna
Flyers,
do some
yeah.
type of things like that, because not everybody has a child.
That
If
costs
we had
money.
money for 73 cents to 5,500
I don't
households.
know, we found $1,000, so we have money.
I don't think we have money for that.
But I mean, we have to be mindful of that. So when we do any type of strategic planning, any type of mission and vision, workshop, things like that, any kind of community events, we make sure that we go out to, all the stakeholders, senior centers, house of worship, the town council, all those people, and make sure that we hit all the different facets, because that's super important.
Would like Frankfurt Township to disseminate information?
I don't think that the town council's gonna do that on our behalf.
Well, not like send flyers, because that costs money, but like post things or share information on like a website, just link,
Well, I think for a couple $100, you can get like 1,500 flyers.
and then we
I know,
have to
but every
send them.
time we wanna send a piece of information out, then we're gonna pay 73 cents or whatever a stamp is, times 5,500 households in just Frankfurt, I don't even know what it is in Branchville. So you're
Yeah.
looking at, and that's every
Quarter or
Say
whatever.
every month,
or so.
we don't have that.
But
No, I mean,
you know, email is
I like
for
the
free,
idea.
so you could do like a campaign where you tell people that don't have kids in the school, like
Try to
if you
get
wanna get on
emails.
our email list, we can email you out the newsletter. So that might be something that you want to get out into the community that,
mhm,
you know, we want to reach at all stakeholders, you know?
yeah,
So email might be a way to do that.
mhm.
But the newsletters are really a big hit with a lot of different communities. So,
I feel like older people like that.
Yeah.
they do, yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
I'm part of that category.
Yeah.
I would like a piece of paper.
No, I mean, I would email it out, like email's free, so I would email it. Like my parents would read every word on
And
that
then
thing.
if you want it on paper, you can print it out. There you go.
Solution for everyone.
Okay,
Thank
so so that's where we are with the board goals. I think that we came up with a couple of them. Does anybody have any other thoughts on what your wants and needs are that you think that the team needs?
This is very helpful.
Yeah,
I think-
I figured it was a visual, right?
Well, like with every board too, I guess like the turnover rate, right? So, our longest standing board member is Kate Adam, and then me and Caitlin, right? So like as you're going through your governance training, each year you're learning a little bit more.
Right.
Right, so like when you're a new board member, you only have governance 1, you haven't done 2, 3, 4 yet. So like I think as the turnover happens too, and new board members, like probably a new board member
Could a goal be
orientation.
retention?
What?
Could a goal be retention to make that turnover less?
You can make that goal, but I am not running again.
Okay.
And I'm also
You've
going to
done your
announce that I will not be
term.
president
Was this
next year.
3? Was this your third term?
No.
Second?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is a whole lot of fun.
Well, this was interesting. But yeah, so what I'll do is I'll type up some sample goals and then some action plans to those goals. And if it's something that you want to adopt, you can do that at your next public meeting. And then just let me know, we can do a schedule of trainings, anything that you need.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this, guys.
Yes.
Do we have to go into an executive session?
Mandy, before you go into executive, I was hoping, I have to go to another executive meeting tonight, so is there any way I could say one thing?
Absolutely not, Ms. Decker. The time is up.
Sure, Mrs. Acker.
All right.
I'll veto Jesse.
Because I just have to leave, I have a fair meeting. I'm just gonna hand out a letter. What? I know, too much. I'm just gonna hand out a letter that I composed in regard to the one-way busing that was approved at the last meeting. I know you guys said you're gonna work on it in the summer, and I just wanted to make sure that all the questions I had, and I think you have a few board members not here. I give them to you.
Thank you.
Okay. And I just wanted to make sure that the concerns I had were addressed this summer, because some of them are really legitimate. And I won't go through it all, because I just appreciate the time you're giving me, but I went through all that I could think of and put them on the front and back to make sure they were covered. And I just asked if I look forward to maybe discussing them further with the individually or with the board as a whole in the future before they go into effect in terms of the answers. So, thank you, I appreciate it. I don't know, is there any other schools in Sussex County that do one-way busing?
There's some that do not know.
There are some that are doing it, yeah.
Who? Because I'm just saying, we've never had a school come to us, like on field hockey or anything else, that doesn't get picked up, like doesn't have a bus to go back, so I just was curious.
I'll get back to you on that.
These are good PowerPoints.
Okay.
They have good brain turners.
Well, the thing I said is just like, I'll give you one example for example, I know, you gotta go, I don't wanna take
I
your
like
time.
one C,
no.
one C's like, like what happened?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's little things, like, something as simple as, well, you just, like, said to me, we'll just follow behind your car. Okay, my girls are getting on the field hockey bus. All the equipment's gotta get on. I have to take attendance, right? So I have to get on the bus to take attendance. And then we try to be in the front to leave before the other buses, because if we get behind them, then we get to the game late. So we pull out of here right away. Now I gotta run back to get into my car. By then the other, like,
There's
just,
two coaches in every program, correct?
Right.
So one coach would have to be on that bus on the way there, the other would follow, and it would be the responsibility of the other coach when they get done with the event to bring the other coach back to the school.
So you and Mrs. Kikase, one of you would choose to ride the bus and one of you would choose to drive. And
Okay,
then after field hockey, if you chose to drive, you're driving.
So it's like
Back here.
carpooling.
okay, all right, and then how does the equipment get back?
It would have to be taken back with the coaches.
Do you know how much field hockey equipment we have? Okay, then the other thing is like for ski club, we don't have that option of like, I don't know, like I would park somewhere in East, you know, if you ever went to Mountain Creek, I'd be down in the public parking lot. My kids would be getting off the bus
Right.
and
Just
then,
remember
To
that
walk
just
back.
because it's a club doesn't mean that we have to do it. So if it's
Okay.
too much of a
And-
problem.
right, and I
You
do
can-
realize there's such sports and things like that, like, for example, like the basketball tournament. Or maybe the track, if there's definite
Kate told me
people that-
Charlie Adam was the only one to ride the bus home from track.
Right, well, that's what I'm saying, if there's certain sports that don't do it, then I could see you making adjustments to that, but if there's others, like, I just feel there's certain things that you have to look
How many
at.
kids ride home on the ski club bus?
Okay, we have, I was pointing
Because
out,
everyone tells me
We-
they stay with their kids.
no, we have about, probably between 6 to maybe 9 that get signed out. So the rest of the 40, 50 some kids that go all come back with me. And for bowling, every single kid comes back with me. Not one kid gets picked up, except if they have a doctor's appointment or going somewhere else. We had that happen twice this year. So that's what I'm saying, it may work
I
for.
can be witness to that, cause I've had my kid on bowling and ski, and every time you come here to pick them up, the park
It's
is
full.
full of parents.
So I just wanted to, it may work for some sports, but and I think for both of those, bowling and ski club, it's gonna definitely limit what kids could participate, to have parents to get there and pick them up. That's all, I don't wanna take any more of your time, and I
Thank you,
appreciate
Mrs.
it.
Atkins. Motion to go into executive session.
Motion.
Second.
I
I have some information about it, Jesse, when we get to it.
Okay, so we're in the communications and public relations section. So we have big activities this month. We have on the 10th, we'll have the big little buddy picnic at Frankfurt Park. The 16th is an early dismissal, 17th last day of school, early dismissal, and graduation at the fairgrounds, starting at 6 p.m. So that's amazing. Kate Adam is not the chair of the policy committee.
That's been there for a long time.
So there's a policy on sponsorships and advertising in school athletics, which basically we can't put on a jersey.
Right.
That's what that is, that's enough update there. Alright, Mr. Lassard, you're up with the finance.
First off, I have topics about deficit transfers. Anytime I transfer budget funds to another fund, in this case, student activities, I have to get board resolution. In which case, resolution number 25, which is on page 7. I have transferring $10,000 to student activities for the pay to participate shortage. You can see on this thing, it's about $9,551 short between fees collected for participation and the actual expenses. Of the expenses, about $10,000 is the officials, that's referees, fees for tournaments or any of those items, and then the remainder was all transportation. So transportation, two-way transportation for this year was $15,322. The discussion being one-way or two-way. The cost for one-way, Dorney Park is probably gonna change, but the overall cost for two-way would be, for this coming school year, would be $11,220.
So it's one way.
Back up, one-way would be $11,220. Two-way, based on our contracts that we have, would be $22,846.
You
know,
can't
we-
do one way to Dorney Park, right?
Yeah, that'd be pretty difficult. That would be a lot, that would be a lot of parents driving a long way, so I understand that. It was bid out that way, but
Yeah.
we have contracts for both, it's just the affordability.
So it's 30, and it was 33% higher than the last year.
Yes, so we got, the reason our actual was 15,000 is because we had a contract with Craft Bus. They gave us a very good bid for the school activities, cause they were hoping that we
But
were
then they had
gonna,
legal issues.
that was gonna entice us to give them the to and from school contract, which was significantly higher than first student. So needless to say, they declined to renew that contract for 26-27. So we had to do a bid regardless. We did renew the one for Stalker, that's where those two-way routes costs are come from, is the Stalker bus contract. But since we have a one-way option and a two-way option,
Your daily bus is for student though, right?
yes, yep. So with that, this discussion is twofold. One of them is the fact that, we have a $9,551 deficit in the pay to participate, which is why I'm requesting a transfer to student activities. The other portion of that is to discuss the participation fees for next year. The suggestion was, we came up short, shy of $10,000 at the $100, $175 for the second kid, $50 for the third, or there's no additional. But if we were to stay at two-way transportation, that shortage of $10,000 would be more like $20,000, which we did not budget for that. I do also need to, if we go to one-way, then we would actually hopefully be a wash. Dorney Park would kind of wipe it out, but we would be, if we have this increase, we'll bring in about $7,000 additional. With the savings by moving to one-way, it should be a wash at the end of the year. Between the savings of going to one-way busing and the additional funds for the pay to participate.
Because you're saying this year, we had a 41.1% shortage.
Yes,
That's a lot.
and that was with a better than expected
Bus.
bus.
What was the previous year?
We did it all, it wasn't reported in the same way, cause the board was paying for all the athletics transportation, so it's just in the general budget. I would have to pull it up.
Is our attendance lower now that we're doing pay to play?
That's a
I
great
don't think so.
Or is it still the same, we're signing up?
No, it seemed like increases.
It doesn't seem like it just in the last 2 years for me with basketball and soccer, but I can't speak for all of them, it doesn't seem to be. So Dorney Park, most of the field trips are paid for, like a field trip is paid for through the kids when they go to, Dorney Park falls under the category of like the pay to play kind of thing, right? So it's not like they pay for that trip to go when they go to Dorney Park.
It's just the transportation fees is covered for pay to play.
Yeah, they'll pay for like the admission fees and all
Right.
that stuff.
Oh, so they don't pay.
So they don't pay for the bus like they would if they went to like,
Well, that's for
I
big
treat it
sports,
like
right?
athletics, so
You treat it like
whether
athletics,
it's
okay.
jazz band or they go
Yeah,
to
it's not like a
ShopRite, I
Class
treat
trip,
it
it's
like
for music,
athletics.
right?
okay.
As a parent, when we pay for class trips, is the bus part of that fee?
So that's why
Yeah,
there's
it
no
is.
question.
Okay.
Yes.
PTA
And
this
then-
year did give $1,000 per grade level, so
To
they
help offset
gave
that.
$9,000 to
That's
offset
Right.
that this year, but that can't be a guarantee that we expect year after year, that was this year. We're very grateful for that.
That's big.
Yeah, because to go to medieval times, what was it guys, $70?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was $16 for the kindergarten or for second grade to go to the fairgrounds.
right,
Yeah, the buses are so expensive.
yeah. We do have to, I guess, over the summer, have these considerations of one-way busing and how this will work. I personally think that Mr. Sylvester is a very smart man and he will figure it out.
We'll certainly meet with the staff, like we do have our
Chris Deming.
our pickup trucks for the school district, which we gotta go through the approval process and driver abstracts and stuff, but that is available to help with transporting equipment,
Yeah,
or even the coaches, so you could drive that thing to them, so they don't have to drive their own vehicle, but you
I
can
think
throw a
the
whole lot in
point
the back
of-
of that.
Potential accidents is worth considering, like, that's a huge liability.
As far
Like
as what
If a
parents are
coach is
picking up.
well, that too, but if a coach is driving their own car and they get in an accident on the way to or from a school event, like,
Is the school responsible?
Yeah.
yes, is the school
Uh,
responsible?
they're not at my
We
work.
on school
Yeah,
insurance.
it would be whether they're driving their car or
Yeah, if they're in the work truck from
Have you ever
here.
driven to a PD?
Yeah.
you're under the
You're
school's
covered.
responsibility.
I drove to Long Island today, if I got in an accident, my company wouldn't
Yeah.
pay for
So
me.
Okay, so we're
But we-
beyond the schools and.
What, like, they are covered because they're
Yes,
doing.
through our
it.
insurance.
For a
They're-
school function, yeah.
So I think there's two different
Oh,
pieces here, right?
okay.
Bowling club and ski club are different than
Than the
sports because
yeah, they're
you're watching your
more
kids, so
optional.
you're going to those games versus
Yeah.
picking your kid up for an activity. I'm not saying one way or the other, I'm just,
Is that an
thinking about
option to do some things two-way? I mean, it's gonna change the numbers, obviously, but like we said, Dorney Park, you can't just drop the kids off. Same thing, I think ski club makes sense to have to bring them home and bowling.
or
It's
somewhere
gonna
in the
depend
middle.
on like what the bus company's willing to do, what they're willing to contract, right, Chris? Mr. Lassard?
They're willing to do whatever we're willing to pay them for.
Yeah, so I mean, it does happen, I know high school, middle school are different for sure, but there's definitely more drop-off busing at the high school level. It's not the same, kids are younger and it's not the same situation, but as things get more challenging, that's definitely happening more. Just these
I just-
younger kids.
Is there ever a way out of this? I feel like it's terrible, and I hate
What, to
the
pay
idea-
to play?
Yes, I hate the
Yeah,
idea of
when you
making-
approve this resolution to send to the governor to say we need more money because we're screwed here.
Well, that's not about this, but we could do that too.
It is, it's a budget item. It's wholly a budget item.
I mean,
That's why we went to pay to
ultimately,
play, because our
the-
budget would not allow for us to do this anymore.
Yeah, it's getting really difficult at this point because you've got so many costs
Right.
going up really fast and ultimately that leaves about, as we talked about, 10 or 11% of the budget is discretionary and that percentage is getting squeezed more and more, so it's trying to do as much as we can without actually getting rid of programs or losing programs, so
Right,
it's.
and as an
and that's the key.
alternative, there's like no way out of this, I feel like.
Right.
Which is upsetting.
And that's the key, if we wanna keep everything intact that we have, like, yes, this is gonna be a problem, but eventually, we're gonna have to make tough decisions.
Can I
So-
ask for the ski, to Chris's point, I don't see an issue with the sporting events that parents come as spectators. As much as I see an issue with ski club. How much would it be if we asked, cause my kids have all done ski club, I used to have to pay for the bus. But I'm sure we were not paying the full amount, I think we were just contributing towards the cost of the bus. How much would it be for parents to pay for round trip busing for Mountain Creek? Like if we did just that, is it an exorbitant amount of money for the parents to pay for that?
Well, it's.
It probably would be, and then it
Yeah.
goes by numbers, so like, if you're
Okay.
talking about like 50 kids doing ski club, but then you only get 25,
Yeah,
then it's gonna be a lot more to cover
Wait,
that
is it
bus.
$5,000 per trip per?
No, that's
For
the
the
total
season,
for the
for all the
five,
trips.
for
They
the
do
5
6, right?
trips.
Is it 5 or 6?
5.
Yeah.
5.
But I think the more reasonable would be to pay the difference between the one
Yeah,
and
the
two,
one-way
right?
and
Not the
two-way.
Yeah.
overall cost.
Just quick math. If ski club were to be self-funded, meaning they're funding their own transportation, that number, 5,618 divided by roughly 30, which is roughly the amount of kids that go, is an extra $187 per student.
Plus the 150 for the
Right.
pay to play.
Well, so that's the thing that we could consider, is we would pull ski club,
Clubs.
bowling and that out, so they're not necessarily paying for the pay to play unless they're doing soccer, field hockey, so
Right,
on
if they're
and
doing
so
the other
forth.
activity, you're paying,
They're
yeah.
paying, but if they were just doing solely ski club, they're actually paying more than what we're paying for the pay to play.
Yeah, but I wouldn't divide by 5,000, I would
You
divide
do
the
half of
difference, right? Like if you're.
No, but if
you're
they're not doing pay to play, then they're just funding
Right.
the bus,
But if
because
you were trying to look
I
at
mean,
the
I think for ski club
Difference
too,
between
the
one
thing
and
is
two.
like, the parents have to buy their lift ticket, right? The parents have to rent their skis, their boots, so like,
It's a lot.
you would only, but maybe I'm skewed, but if you're, what did you say, it's $187?
That's the full amount, right? You
Yeah,
took 5,000.
covered.
Yeah, but if we don't do
Plus-
pay to play, if we pull them from pay to play, they
Okay.
don't get funding from us.
But I would imagine there's probably a lot of those kids, how many are only doing ski club? Is that a pretty unique group that doesn't do anything else?
Well, I know
Imagine
this
they do.
school year, a lot of the basketball kids
Oh,
were
I see.
also
This
doing
is
So there's probably a lot of kids that are doing something
Everything.
else, they're not
Yeah.
just
Like most of the
unique to
kids
ski
do
club.
one thing.
What, as a parent, are you willing to pay $187 for your kid to take the bus 5 times to Mountain Creek and back?
Plus you're
It's
paying
gonna
for,
probably cost you a lot more in gas.
I mean,
And your
as a
time.
parent, are you willing to pay $187 for your kid to go to Mountain Creek 5 times back and forth with ski club?
That's not the only cost though, too, right?
But that would be their
busing
cost.
only.
That's transportation, yeah,
But if we
On
pulled it
top
from
of
pay
it.
to play, right, and it's not a pay to play, but if you do something else that's in pay to play, you have to pay for pay to play. Plus, if you join ski club, you're not in pay to play, it's removed from that matrix, and now you have to pay $187 for the busing. I don't have a kid that goes to ski club, but I would say, I would pay it, because even if she wants to do field hockey and ski club, and she's field hockey for $150, what rec sport are you getting for much less than $150?
Nothing's cheap.
Rec cheerleading, where you have a cheer coach named Mandy Joust, who is never a cheerleader in her life, you're paying $125 per kid, no discount for the second kid, and you're getting a pretty crappy coach.
But if we leave the pay to
Yeah,
play,
I'm saying if you leave it
That's
in
not
play,
bad.
I
That
think
is
the
an
difference
extra
between the
90.
two. Right, and you make it 90, John, you're a good example, would you wanna pay an extra 90 so your kid gets bused back from ski club?
Yeah, I mean, it
I
wouldn't
would.
bother me. No.
I would pay the extra 90.
Why are we splitting it in half
'Cause-
again?
I'm saying the one way
Difference
should be
between
included.
one-way
Difference
versus-
between one way and two
Yeah.
way, so you take the 180 and make it 90, it's still in pay to
Yeah,
play.
but, so one way for ski club is $2,200.
Right, taking the difference between two way and one way, it's 3,000-ish, right? You
Right.
could use 5,000.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes, it would be half that.
$3,400.
Cause if the one way's coming out of pay to play anyway.
Right,
It's about 75,
right,
right?
so that you can get the second bus.
So that's 5 trips.
And isn't there about an average of
50 kids that do this?
About 30.
Is it 30?
Yeah, just, we take 2 buses, and the reason you take 2 buses is because everybody's getting up there
They're
like.
geared.
And then it's,
Yeah.
then for bowling too, you have to look at bowling, whatever, I mean, that's more minimal, it's only 4 trips.
So if it's only 30 kids, can we like range, like I'm just thinking about it, like the school has other vehicles and somebody can take,
We don't have other vehicles.
we don't have a pickup truck.
Not
have
do,
to
you can't transport kids.
Can't do
in.
You can't transport
we can
kids,
put
but
it
you can
in.
transport snowboards.
Yeah, but is it the gear or is it just because they are like,
Well, I
In
mean,
what they're
I'm
wearing,
sure
not
you
their
could fit
boards.
a
Do
couple
people bring
snowboards
boards or
in
do
there,
they
a
get
lot of
them
them
when
rent
they
it, so if we can fit all their equipment.
Yeah,
in,
they have their
say,
own,
2
yeah.
buses, we can
But
take it down
I'm
to
sure the
1
majority
bus.
of them.
Yeah, they
Skis
bring their
and
own
snowboards,
skis, their own
yeah.
snowboard.
Maybe there's a few that rent, but I'm sure the
are
majority.
you
I just
saying,
feel like
John, are
these
you saying
poor
we take
kids-
the, put the gear in the pickup truck and then just have one bus, is that?
Yeah, these poor kids, they're suffering left and right ever since this whole pandemic thing, and it's like, everybody wants to take stuff.
Just one
From
point,
these
I don't wanna
kids that
jam their
enjoy it.
stuff in a pickup truck, and then you get there and somebody's stuff is broken, then that's a big deal.
You know, there's things, but you have to talk to the parents about it. Like, some people are like, hey, that sounds fantastic. Now the kids can still go, you know, bindings or whatnot. I've seen it all, ski poles. There's ways you can store these things so if they're not getting damaged. I mean, if you got all these kids just walking up to a
But
truck
they
and
get
throwing
damaged
all
on the
their gear in,
bus.
you know, and they're just as likely to get damaged on
Right.
the bus.
That's what you're gonna have.
And a lot of these kids rent their stuff there. Not all of them are bringing their own gear, you know, besides for snow pants and snow jacket, but there's and these kids like.
I think
don't
we
know.
take, I think we
all try to
taking
save
it-
money by taking from these kids to send them outside, you know, it falls under a bunch of different things. How long is our math, social studies and science classes? Aren't they like 2 hours long each?
No. So math is like a 2-period block, which is an hour and 20 minutes.
An hour and 20
Science,
minutes.
social studies is pretty much a 1 period, so that's like.
So for all those
Depending on elementary,
academic,
middle
all
school.
those academic classes, I think the state requires you 4 hours. So we're above our 4 hours on academics.
Well, that's, yeah, like for it to count for a full day, so like
Yeah.
hence the early dismissal, the
So
late
these
opening.
kids still got 8 hours to do something different besides for being locked up in a classroom.
But John, are you complaining about the money aspect, adding money to it, or are you willing to pay $75 for your kid to have round
Yeah,
trips?
I feel like kids deserve to go do what they gotta do instead of being locked up and everything's taken away from them. So many parents work
Like, we
now.
can't debate the school day. The school day is what the school day is, and that's what it is.
I was just
But for
using it
ski,
as an
for this is for
example.
pay to play, for ski club and bowling,
Yeah,
which are
I'd
the
pay
two
for my
clubs
kid
on
and I'd
here.
pay for the kid sitting next to him and I'd pay for the kid sitting next to him.
Me too, John. So I mean,
I don't think we're trying to take it away, we're just trying to,
we're trying to figure out,
No,
we're
yeah,
trying,
well, this is a very slippery slope we're going down with trying not to take stuff
John, you
away,
voted
but-
for 0 taxes. You didn't want
Yeah.
any taxes going up.
No,
So then how
because-
do you afford this?
well, you gotta talk to the people. I don't wanna I don't wanna raise taxes, cause I don't want the people paying for something. I mean, what's our grade average? Has our grade average came up?
Yeah,
How
it
much
did.
has it come up a lot?
Yeah,
Has it
so
come up, or are we
we've-
still below average?
So we've gone from 73% to we're just short of 80%, we're at 79% if we're talking about NJS.
So I'm talking about the one where we were at like 37.
Proficiency,
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, we're above state average for the majority of our grades and
cause we were
subjects.
below state average.
No, the state, we were just very below what you would expect when you're looking at those
Right.
numbers. You would expect them to be much higher, so like the state average
The
seems to be
state
pretty
average
low.
was there, we
and
weren't
so
below
we-
the average.
We weren't below the state average, but when you see the numbers, it is a little jarring for people that aren't in education, especially to be like, whoa, that is low. But right now, we're talking about pay to play. So the vote that you
Well,
have
you
to
weren't
make.
there with taxes, that's why I'm asking these questions now, that's what I'm
No, but
saying.
you're,
Like, I'm
you
willing
don't
to
want
raise
taxes
and
going
pay
up, but then
if it's
you're
worth
like,
it.
then you gotta pay, then there's gotta be relief in the budget somewhere.
I agree with Mrs. Eckert, that I do think the ski program would suffer, I think without round trip transportation, just because of the location and the time that people have to be picked up. So I'm not as concerned about the other sports, because as Chris pointed
What
out.
about bowling?
So this is tough because I'm basing it based on what I've seen my kids do, and I have found that they have found the ski club and the team sports to be very rewarding. The bowling club experience for them has been more of a social thing. I'm not saying that socialization is not important, but I think there are social things they could do where maybe we're not being bused.
Yeah.
So if we're looking at trying to maintain some of these lower costs and still give kids opportunity, I would rather,
Forfeit bowling club.
yes, as a forfeit bowling club as a round trip transportation. That's just my personal point of view. I don't have any data on how many kids are involved in
And
that.
Florida Lanes is, it's not that far of a ride, like,
Yeah,
what's it, 10 minutes farther than if they have to come to the school?
And it's only like a
not-
5:30 pickup, it's not.
Yeah, it's not,
Yeah.
like, Mountain Creek's a hike for a lot of people.
now the only thing I would say about Mountain Creek bowling is I think Kate might have brought it up, that might be a sport or an activity that appeals to a different population of
Yes.
kids that are not
They're not, like,
involved in
necessarily
uber athletic
You
things.
get a whole different
Yeah.
mentality
Right.
of kids that will go to bowling over ski club or doing like the kids that like to stay.
Do we
quiet,
know
like
how
to
many
stay
kids
So
we
quiet.
normally have
here's
for
the
bowling?
thing, the rest of the things are sports on this list.
Yeah, I don't
We can pull clubs.
Yeah,
And then the parents would have to fund the two-way transportation, whatever that looks like.
can we
But
keep
then
it
they
in
would
pay to
not be
play?
in pay to play because they also don't need referees. They don't need, right? So like
Need equipment.
the sports have extra costs of tournament fees, referees, all of that. Whereas ski and bowling don't need those. So you can pull them from the matrix of pay to play. Now, you can be in those things without pay to play, but it's gonna cost you whatever, $75 to $187. And again, you don't fully know that cost until you get the enrollment for ski club. So what you can do is divide it by last year's numbers and see how many kids you get. 8th graders graduated, 6th graders come up. So like, you can kind of play off that for the cost. And, if we get less than what the buses cost, you're gonna do a transfer like that again.
At the same time,
I don't think it's
though,
gonna be a budget buster of a transfer.
talking that way about like, they don't need official stuff, why does student council have to pay to be on student council?
Is that in the pay?
That's a part of the pay to play. They don't have,
Is it?
I don't think
yeah,
Dave is.
I had to
Yeah,
pay for
newspaper,
my son to
Any
do
club,
it,
any
All
club.
clubs are in there.
It was again because
because everything
Being-
was included in it, so student council, they don't have officials,
it
they
was
don't have any
one broad,
policies.
it's not pay to play, it's an
for the-
activity fee.
Okay.
So if you are doing any activity that falls outside of the school hours, it was lumped in.
So can we just keep everything?
I'm just gonna put this out here too.
Okay,
Eventually, the way our budget is going, pay to play may need to fund the stipend pay. The stipend pay is in the contract, in a matrix, A, B, C, step, step, step. We don't have to fulfill anything on that matrix. It's not like because it's in there, because it says that there's an environmental club, that we have to fund an environmental club. If one kid comes up and says, hey, I wanna be in the environmental club, all right, now somebody gets a stipend for $1,100. No, so it's the same thing with ski club, bowling club. If it becomes too expensive, you don't there's nothing that says that there has to be these clubs. It could be field hockey that goes, it could be, so at some point, hopefully not when I'm here, so other people can discuss this, the stipend pay will need to be absorbed by pay to play.
Well, then it
Because we
becomes
won't have it.
untenable. I mean, that's, but for next year, does it make sense to just keep ski club and bowling club in the pay to play? And then as a caveat, these clubs provide round trip busing, you need to pay this
Yes.
additional.
Difference.
That's what I like.
Difference.
I mean, that's something.
So you're saying, so the
Say it,
student would
but
pay
$150, but because they're doing ski club, they need an additional $75.
Yeah.
To cover the bus.
Cover the bus.
Cover this
Yeah.
two-way bus.
To cover the return
Okay.
trip busing.
Now you're gonna, and I'm sure that then will you have parents that will say, then I don't want my kid going on the bus, I'll drive them to and from. I don't think that's gonna happen.
It might.
I don't think, I don't
I
think,
think, like I said, for $75 for their time, the gas, going back and
For
forth.
every trip, I think it's worth it.
I think
We're talking 5
it's
trips,
worth
right?
$75
That's also
to
like-
cover 5 trips.
A
to
certain
Mountain Creek.
demographic
And if-
has that money.
and if
There.
somebody,
$15 a trip.
and if somebody can't afford it, if somebody can't afford it and they can contact Mr. Sylvester, because if you're free or reduced lunch, you're eligible for none of these fees. So like, or they could reach out to Mr. Sylvester and say, hey, I'm having a really hard time, this is my situation. My kid loves ski club,
I think that's
we would
so
get them
important,
there.
but I also just,
nobody does it.
I just
Okay.
also, right, I know, but I also just can't help feeling sorry for that family who will not reach out to Mr. Sylvester and who just can't let their kid do it. And I know it's probably only a couple, if that, but I just,
And I
it's just
feel like
heartbreaking.
our advisors, because this came up with the band and chorus being included in this like a year ago, and that was a big concern. And as you know, our band and chorus teachers are on top of things, so if there was a kid that was in it and then all of a sudden they didn't come back, like they would let us know, but to the best of our knowledge, all the kids came back, it was all covered. If there was an
I
issue,
guess that's the advantage of being
it was brought to our
responsible.
attention, so
And I
so
think too-
we've not been made aware of any kid that has not participated
Because
that
of
participated
this.
the year before
Yeah.
due to this.
Like
Well,
my
that's
kid
fine.
only plays field hockey, so I am paying $150
For
for her
one
to play
thing,
field hockey.
yeah.
But then Victoria Vance, she did every single club, every single group, every single
Getting her
thing.
money's
So
worth.
Jen Vance is like, I'm happy to give you
Right.
$150, you know, like,
Yeah.
because she's getting so much out of
There's
it.
also those families who are getting so much out of it are probably partly why there's a shortage.
Is there any way we
tricky
can send out like a
situation.
pre-season survey? Can you send something out to the parents and be like, hey, this is what our plans are,
Just,
if
like,
your kid
gauge
wants to do ski
interest,
club,
yeah.
wants to do bowling, these things are gonna cost extra, could you just give us a like, if you think your kid will, you'd wanna sign your kid up? Cause we're trying to
Are you more
get
likely or
numbers on
less
both
likely
sides.
to participate
Yeah,
if
we do
this?
that.
You know, that would be, and you do it twice, like months before, cause isn't ski
could
club
we do
bowling
something
comes after
now
the new
soon?
year, right?
Right.
The high school just
Yeah.
did that with
They
the
start
foreign languages
recruiting
for
in,
the
like,
incoming
October, I think.
freshmen.
Yeah, it's like November, yeah.
They're not offering French, they put out a poll, would your child want to do sign language or Spanish?
Mhm.
Is that
Then
all
they get a
know?
feel and they know what they,
Yeah,
what route
Not
they
even German?
There's no
So,
German
the poll's
teachers.
not bad.
Interesting.
Okay, so when we vote on this, Mr. Lazard, what are we exactly voting on? So we're voting on the
Voting on
suggested
fee
increase.
But do you wanna
for
keep,
next
sorry,
year.
is it keep bowling the way it is though, cause you do have, bowling's a much smaller entity where it's about an $800 difference for how many kids, so you could leave it as is and just provide the two-way, or it's $25 if you're doing bowling,
Because
or
you're doing speakers.
Well, I think we have to charge something, because if somebody sniffs out that, hey, bowling
Right,
does two-way and they're
Right.
not getting charged,
Yeah, I
how
think
come
we
ski
should do
club
the
does
It's about
two-way and they're
25.
getting
Yeah.
charged?
Yeah, it's
and
not-
it's 25.
Yeah,
And like that information will go out immediately.
and then you
Are
have
we
to
allowed to
ask
ask-
the bus company right? You have to tell the bus company that those two activities, those dates would require round trip busing.
Are we allowed to ask for donations? Is the school allowed to do that? Like when you put out the permission slip or whatnot, and if you'd like to donate a little extra?
Or pay for another kid.
Yeah, you know, not like, but
Yeah, but we're
okay.
not allowed to make money on this, so if we actually wound up where there was
A surplus. Wait, so if we did.
What
have
it,
a
what it would do
surplus-
is it would go to the pay to
Pay to play
participate
for the
line
next
in
year.
the activities.
So it
It would
actually
just
help the
offset,
kids.
you know, it would offset the potential for increases, is what it would do. If it ended up with surplus funds left over, they would just sit
Dave, do you
there.
feel that there are people that are just too embarrassed to ask for the help, or that nobody really?
Hard to say, yeah. I mean, I've definitely had conversations with students where I'm like, hey, thought you would have, and then you work. And I've definitely had a parent or two reach out, but I haven't had many.
And are the parents aware that free and reduced lunch are
Yeah.
eligible for a $0?
It's included in all the information, like,
Yep.
so one of our summer projects, you know, is to think about all this stuff, to get everything ready. You know, we can do some of the suggestions we heard here today to try to get feedback for, you know, get ahead of the game with ski club, with bowling club, you know, just try to.
But I think it's either
That's
one or the
fine.
other, like sending out a survey, I mean, if the survey comes back and people are like, no, we won't do it, we won't pay the extra money, then what is the deal? Then we
Like,
only
don't ask that
offer,
question.
that's, yeah, it's gotta be just, we're deciding that it's doing
I think
it.
it might be a nice gauge to just be like, would your child be more likely or less likely to participate if we do this? Not
Well, I
like,
would just tell them
But
the
is that
truth.
gonna impact our decision?
Yeah,
Yeah, it can be, I
Yeah,
don't really
that's a
feel
good
like it
question.
Why don't you just tell them
think
it's
it's
money.
fair.
Just tell them the truth, just tell them the truth, like, hey, we're looking for your
I don't know what
answers
you're saying.
because we're either gonna hire 2 buses or 1 bus, you know, and then this is how it is. Just
or
tell
like,
them the
would
truth.
you, like, what are your feelings as a community of like getting rid of activities versus doing the paid play? I don't know that it's really worth it, because would we be able to change anything anyway, but.
Chris, I didn't hear what you said.
No, I just said, I think that's a fair amount, the 75 for 5 ski trips. I think most
125.
parents don't wanna pick their kid up in the middle of the winter from
Mountain Creek.
Mountain Creek for,
And if you're picking them up, they're gonna be like, just one more run, done in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
hours
later.
Yeah.
10 o'clock at
Brother,
night.
shutting the lights off, where are you?
Yeah. I understand what John's saying in terms of like a well-rounded experience for the students, but the situation financially is difficult. I think that if we can charge a little bit to keep the programs in place and keep kids enrolled in it, I think it's worth the extra expense.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wanna get rid of
And I do think that I think ski club would suffer if there was not round trip busing. I think that the participation would.
Yeah, I would not want to go to Mountain Creek to
Right.
have some of that. Okay.
So the
So that-
resolution is on the rates for the,
Oh, okay, so that's.
That's what
That's
Mr.
what we're-
Lassard's been saying from the beginning. We're not anything like that, it's just, are you willing to increase by $50?
for all this extra stuff we
Okay,
can
got it.
it's a good discussion afterwards.
Yes, very good discussion.
Are you happy we had it, Mr. Lassard?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
The next one is also related, it's not pay to participate, but the damage waivers for the Chromebooks. So we're
Yes.
short about $3,000 on Chromebook repairs, especially as they're getting into years 2, 3, 4. Wanna increase the waiver from $25 to $50. Hopefully that'll give us enough to break even. Right now, we have about $1,200, $1,300 worth of repairs, but generally speaking, once all the Chromebooks are turned in June, we have between $2,000 and $3,000 worth of repairs, because there's a lot of repairs that just, it's
I
just
think we should just.
Can I ask,
don't make sense.
why does it say like this?
That's just how Sharon puts in that,
Yeah.
into the ledger
Oh,
activities.
Right.
oh,
Like we'll get, whenever we get pay to play fees, those all come through the
Pay schools.
the pay school system, so
Same one.
they're flagged as pay to participate.
okay.
Why do we use Chromebooks and all that?
Would it save money, John, this is on the same line of thinking, would it save money to phase them out of like elementary school or
Elementary
K
school,
to 3?
we only have them for grades 5 through 8.
Okay,
So
good.
that what happens is once kids age up to graduate from 8th grade, the ones that are still viable,
Okay,
move
good.
down
That's
to
good to
be
know, 'cause I
classroom
don't want
computer
to
in
go in
elementary.
elementary.
Yeah, so this is only for 5 to 8 for the insurance.
Okay, good.
And just, it was 25 this year, you paid, right, and now you're asking 50
50?
to cover, and that's the first damage,
One
which
time, yeah,
I said
first
that
Can
damage
we-
is still
is covered.
free, yeah.
after that.
Can we please put that out, because last year, when it went out that in August, that you needed to pay your Chromebook fee, there was a whole Facebook thread on, I wasn't prepared to pay this, I have 3 kids in middle school, I wasn't prepared to give $75, so now they're gonna be giving $150, so if we can get a communication out, put it in the Bulldog Bulletin that is going up, it's another cost. There was like a,
That was when Kirk initially implemented it, I think.
no, it was last year, cause I heard about it.
Yeah.
I got calls about it and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, like,
Probably a good way to cut down on breakage and repair costs is stop sending them home.
Well,
Having the insurance made a huge difference on repairs.
right, they were definitely more careful.
John, I took your question too. You asked what they're used for, didn't you?
Yeah, I did,
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good, yeah, what are they used for?
The Chromebooks?
Yeah.
So, I mean, Google Classroom, the teachers post all the assignments when a kid's at home, like, hey, dad, or the dad says to the kid, what was our homework, what we do in school today? You get on your Google Classroom, you have PDFs right there, you have all the stuff, there's the videos that the teachers post, so they can continue learning at home, but obviously in school, because a lot of our curricular materials are, accessed through online platforms.
Yeah, so we're like switching our whole system over to computers and costing money and
That's
then
just,
we're looking for money instead of just buying
well, I mean,
paper
that's just
and pencils.
education today. If we want our students to perform and get great on state assessments and increase their ability, like that's kind of the hand that we're dealt with across the country is
No, there's
they're
states
gonna
that
have
are
to be tech
phasing
savvy.
out of that. States are phasing right out of these computers. They see the damage. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, that's why we're here talking about it. But yeah, states are phasing right out of this, and we come up with these, like I'm saying, stop sending these things home, keep them right in school. And it was like, well, now.
Well, I
we
know
can't get
Roman's
homework.
class, they kept them in school unless they needed it at home.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
he
that's-
would have to sign it out to bring it home, and then he'd bring it back to school.
Mhm.
So he didn't bring his home
What
every
grade
night.
is he?
Fifth grade, right?
Yeah, 5th graders don't.
I hate them, actually.
we have a Chromebook
But
at
6th,
home,
7th, and 8th bring
and
their
then she has a
phone.
Chromebook at school.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they don't have to, we're not like forcing them to, but if
But
they
you're
want
also
to.
not telling them to leave them right here.
I mean, they're
Nobody's
welcome.
like, hey,
Well,
leave.
where would they keep them though?
They probably have to leave them in their
Do they have
lockers
lockers?
Right.
because they're changing classes.
They
Right.
use them, right?
Yeah.
The high school, they
Charging
don't
them.
use them.
Mhm.
They just check them.
Okay, so that's $50. Lunch
A little bit of
prices.
good news though, lunch prices not going up.
Yay!
We have a surplus, we're allowed
Do you
to
know-
keep it flat with
I actually thought we paid $3.75
Is
this
it
year,
Montrose?
then I realized we paid for it.
Yeah, so what is, they actually, there is a
So much
minimum,
money,
minimum-
it's like.
there is a minimum
how much
increase
it was.
mandated that you have to do every year, they calculate a price lunch equity tool that the Department of Agriculture makes you complete, but if you have a surplus in your food service program, you can keep it flat, and we're keeping it flat, great.
That's exciting.
Flat being $4, no increases.
She counts as 10 years majority
Yeah. Okay, real quick.
Yeah.
So I have approval for technology purchases, those are being purchased under state contracts and co-op contracts, but since they're over the bid threshold, they have to get board approval. It is alarming though how much technology costs have gone, specifically for the servers, just because of the cost of
Data
memory, they've gone up
storage.
over 60%.
It's all.
Yeah, in just the past year, they've gone over, it's gone up over 60%.
Stop using AI, those costs are going up too, Montague.
Yep.
It's not actually gonna be cheaper in a couple of years.
Right.
This is for technology.
Saving money.
Yeah, page 9.
Yeah. It's resolution number 37. Annual reserve resolutions every June is the time of the year when we are able to put money into our reserve accounts, so I'm suggesting $40,000 toward maintenance reserve. We've used almost $40,000 this year, so I try to put at least as much as we spent, if not a little bit better. And then we're putting $50,000 towards excess surplus that goes towards the tax levy. Whatever's left over will go into maintenance, capital reserve, which is gonna be needed for the sewer project if we get approved.
So for Chromebooks, it's $38,850.
Yes, that's for one class, like grade, those are the new
Grade
ones for next
five
year,
is getting the
grade
new
five,
ones.
and they'll have those for 4 years.
Could hire a whole nother teacher for that.
No.
Paraprofessional maybe. Not even.
Paraprofessional.
Okay, last item, I'll be quick, sewer project updates. We
Yay.
don't really need to discuss tuition rates, but sewer project, so just as a follow-up, our project, as mentioned, was recommended by Gottheimer's office to go for funding, so now it's at the appropriation level, could be up to a year. Just to be proactive, I did speak to town council to see if we can get on the calendar, so September 22nd, we're gonna be at the committee workshop meeting, just to discuss next
For
steps, should we
Frankfurt
get approved. Yeah, Frankfurt Township, next steps, if we get approved, how potentially we can get
Is
funding.
it helpful if we all attend that, or some of us anyway?
Sure. It would be definitely helpful
Yeah,
if
right.
anyone that's available to come join us. I was frank with Lori at the last meeting, it's like, last time we came here, we were supposed to have this same discussion, but unfortunately it was election time.
Yes.
And-
I don't know, listen.
And the discussion never really happened, it was pretty much argued by the
Yes.
township attorney the whole time, so.
Yeah, that was about a waste.
I was like, we would like to have an actual discussion, and so we're not wasting
When
people's
was
time,
this?
but
Last week?
this was last
Last year.
July.
That's
So this will be September, I think it's 22nd.
Is it just a regular township meeting, it's like Tuesdays?
Yeah. It's the committee one, so it's their secondary meeting
Oh.
for the month.
What time is it at 7?
6 or 7.
I'll send
That's right,
updates
alright.
when we get that, yeah. I'll see who's
Yeah, we
available.
should definitely.
Thank you, Mr. Lassard, for
That's all I
your
got.
wonderful section.
Thank you.
School safety, we had a fire drill on June 5th and a school security drill on June 5th. So now we're at the consent agenda. So the following items are matters of routine business and will be voted on by one motion. Motion to vote on the consent agenda.
Motion?
Second. Does it go all the way through, Mr. Lassard?
I think 46.
Is this separate then?
Yeah, that's.
So that's at the end.
That's separate.
Yes, so we'll go up to 46.
Yeah.
Yeah, 46.
Be it resolved that the Frankfurt Township Board of Education accept the recommendation of the superintendent of schools to approve the above identified regular agenda items numbered 2026-06-08-03 through 2026-06-08-46. Ms. Dexter.
I'm trying to remember if I missed the last meeting or not. Do you know if I
No,
was,
you were.
I was here? Then yes, everything that was waiting for. Got it.
Charlene.
Yes.
Brienne.
Yes.
John.
If I wasn't here for the last meeting, which one do I abstain from?
Probably number 3.
3 and 4.
I'm gonna, 3 and 4?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no to 3, 4, and 37. I abstain from 3 and 4, no to 37.
Jesse.
Yeah.
Andy, yes. Now do we do this one?
Yeah, so that's
Okay,
that's
so
the
then-
good of the order at that point.
Oh, are we
Oh,
at that?
no,
We're
so
not there
then
yet.
motion to open public comment,
Motion?
second. Am I the second, Ms. Winfrey?
Yeah.
Nobody got anything to say?
Anybody have a
Any
public
public comment?
comment?
Felt like there was a lot of
I
comments.
just wanna ask a question, and it's yes or no. Can we as a school hire a bus driver for our bus?
Can you, as a school, hire a bus driver for
Yes,
your
like, don't we
bus?
have a bus?
We don't.
We don't.
We don't have a bus anymore.
No.
What the
Okay,
cost of that would probably.
But a school can hire a bus driver
Right.
directly.
okay. I did not know we didn't have our bus anymore. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You can hire a bus. Okay, so items in the good of the order. So we have the New Jersey School of Conservation Resolution of Support. So this was sent to us by Amy, that the funding for the School of Conservation up in Stoke State Forest, that funding has been pulled, that they're eliminating the funds. So what they're asking for is local support to file this resolution in order to show the governor that we support the School of Conservation continuing on.
It's really just an acknowledgement of what's going on and that they need $3 million and it costs us nothing. The Sussex County Board of Commissioners has sent this exact thing to the governor and our state representatives have too. So it's just a show of support and kind of a last ditch effort to get it funded so it doesn't close. I also have some pamphlets if anyone's interested. The School of Conservation does a lot of great work in the county and for the whole state. So, yeah.
Alright.
So we would need to change this actually, because this is for the county commissioners.
Oh,
So be it resolved that the Sussex County Commissioners, it would be the
Would say
Franklin Township
3%.
I'll fix that.
Board of Ed.
Thank you for printing this.
Does
That's
anybody?
crazy, I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
actually, if anyone,
So if
has
you
a chance to
remember at the
go for
NJ, the Sussex County, when we saw Kate receive her certified
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
board, that, and I emailed him because he said he was also gonna send out a
A
mock,
resolution for.
Rob Acero said he was gonna send out a resolution about school funding up here.
Yeah.
I emailed him, I never heard from him, he sends me 50 emails a day, but he
Right.
never writes me back from
Send
whatever
it
I
again.
say to him.
resend it.
He never writes back.
We all do it.
Maybe
Yeah, so-
Kelly,
Share it, I'll keep.
maybe we should email Kelly and then
Yeah,
have
that's a good
her,
idea.
because they were tying it somehow to the Highlands, and like pointing out that we can't bring in businesses because
Right.
of the restrictions. And maybe we
Yeah.
should email Kelly and.
Alright, but
ask
that, so for this one, for the School of Conservation, we'll vote if you are willing to have us send this resolution to the governor. So what do I say, be it resolved that the Franklin
Yeah,
Township Board of
just a-
Education accept the recommendation of the superintendent of schools to approve agenda item 47?
Yes.
47, which is the New Jersey School of Conservation Resolution of Support. Motion to vote?
Motion?
Motion, second.
Okay. Mandy Joust, yes. Jesse Vaughn.
Yes.
John Tiger.
Yes.
Brianne Stevenson.
Yes.
Charlene Molnar.
Yes.
Chris Dexter.
Yes.
Thank you.
Perfect.
You guys should go up there if you have the opportunity.
We were just up there not too long ago, that
Yeah.
over ground guys trying to tie knots on their little knot board. That was good. I was like, we're so rough on each other, that's.
So Kate is the chair of the communications committee and she had reached out asking to update the district letterhead. I think it was attached to this email. Mr. Lassard played around with it and updated the,
Yeah, it's at the.
it's at the back of your. So there's one for the Board of Education and then one for the district. So one has like a school on it, one has the Bulldog. We don't have to vote on it or anything. Kate was just asking for an update. And then the school board petitions, if you want to run for the school board, are due to the county clerk at 4 p.m. on Monday, July 27th. So that Charlene, Kate, and Jesse are up for election, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
It's just looking at different letterhead, is that what you said?
Yeah.
I was busy looking for it, sorry.
yeah, no, it's just, yeah,
And when's that due by?
Monday, July 27th, 4 p.m. at the county clerk's office. So John, did you need to get 25 signatures?
If you're
Yeah.
incumbent,
25
it's
now?
25, if you're running for the first time, I think it's 35.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
So you have to get
And by the grace
signatures.
of God, I got that in like 7 hours. Yeah, I started on a Friday night, worked Saturday, went back out Saturday night and shot down on
He
vacation.
called me and I was in Iceland. Like, what? Okay, so then, anybody else for the good of the order? Anything? So I do just wanna say, at the end of the school year, thank you very much to, Mr. Newman, Mr. Sylvester, Mr. Lassard. They've been great support for the board. Really appreciate the 75th year here at Frankfurt. And I'm sure that you will find a good reprieve this summer from me texting and calling and
Gonna miss it.
asking like, what the heck is going on? So, I have had many long phone conversations with these gentlemen and they take my phone call every time, which I would have pushed myself to voicemail. But I appreciate it, keep on keeping on. Our next meeting isn't until August 24th. So enjoy your summer. The come to graduation, 6 p.m. at the fairgrounds next Wednesday.
Richard's in the building, was it?
The livestock
The
building.
livestock
The building
stands.
where everyone's gonna be.
Yes.
You can't
Motion
I
to-
just
know,
sit.
I've been there.
Motion to adjourn,
Motion.
Second.
thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Chris.